So when I was a teenager, specifically when I was 12 years old, I lived in Pasadena, California, and I had this desire in my heart to help hurting people. You see, the reason why I wanted to help hurting people is because I had a father who was severely struggling with a drug addiction, and I felt like I could never help him, but I wanted to help people. And so I found myself driving with some friends. I wasn't driving because I was 12, but I would drive with my friends to a local ministry in Hollywood, California. It was called Children of the Shepherd, and it was this little organization. It was like a soup kitchen that loved on people every single day. And what was unique about this is Big Mike was the guy who was leading this organization. He came up to us one day and said, "Hey, we get the great opportunity to help another ministry in town move into their facility that God gave them." This was back in 1994, and Big Mike shared with us that this local organization was called the Dream Center of Los Angeles. So we had the opportunity to then help the Dream Center move into their new facility. And so for the next 4.5, almost 5 years, I had the opportunity every single Thursday to minister and go over to the Dream Center, learn. I learned so much about leadership, so much about loving people, so much about just capturing stories and seeing life change right in front of me. Ever since I was in 8th grade all the way to my senior year in high school. I then went on to college down in San Diego, California, where God called me to start a church, where we church planted in a small park, and we called it Church in the Park. And so ministering to the hurting, to the broken, to the homeless community has always been in my heart. And now when I moved out here to Anderson, South Carolina, just having this opportunity to join with these awesome leaders here with Freedom 5-1, I'm excited about the future, because I know that, one, for this ministry, that the best is yet to come. But I love the idea of being able to extend hope to people who don't believe yet that the best is yet to come for them. So I've lived in the Anderson, South Carolina area for about 6 years, and I've noticed something here in this city that I've noticed actually in every city that I've lived in. And that is that everywhere I've lived, people need something, and what they need is something called hope. And what I've noticed is that the way that people find hope is that they find freedom and hope in the person of Jesus Christ. And that's what I'm really excited about Freedom 5-1, is that we're going to offer people the hope of Jesus Christ, and we're going to do that by helping them find freedom from addictions, struggles, hang-ups in their lives. And you know, if I think back about my story, that's truly my story. I was a hurting, broken teenager, and I was 17 years old with a drug-addicted dad, struggling with addictions myself, and I felt like I was hopeless. I was broken. I had all this bondage in my life, and what I needed was hope. I needed Jesus, and I found that hope in Christ, but I also found freedom in Christ. And I get the opportunity now to walk in freedom, but also help people walk in freedom. So this idea of starting a ministry here in Anderson, South Carolina called Freedom 5-1, to offer hope, to extend hope, to extend grace, to extend Jesus Christ, that opportunity to people. There's nothing more exciting to me than being part of something like Freedom 5-1. Freedom 5-1 exists to help impoverished families and individuals through the love of Christ. So, you know, what better way, what better opportunity do we have as a ministry to have the front row seat of life change in people? And man, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the opportunity to partner with other local churches, to partner with other ministries in our city, so that we can help people find freedom and find hope. So I had the opportunity about 2 months ago to sit down with a guy named Brian. I was delivering a meal to him at his home, and Brian looked at me, and I could just see in his eyes hopelessness. And so as I sat there and as I talked with him, I shared with him a little bit of my story, and I asked him to share a little bit of his story. And as he had the opportunity to share with me, I could see the hopelessness that he was expressing in his face come out in the words of his story, of his life. And so I had the opportunity to share with him the hope of Jesus, and asked him if he was interested in having a relationship with Jesus Christ. And right there, without even any hesitation, he surrendered his life to Jesus. And I saw immediately Brian go from a man who was hopeless, a man who was struggling with addiction, to understanding that he now has hope and that he can have freedom. And the reason why he can have complete freedom is because he has the hope of Jesus Christ. He can obtain everything that Jesus Christ has to offer him because he now has Christ living in him. So Freedom 5.1 exists to be able to extend that hope to people. And we're going to be able to see life change because we're going to have, we're not going to just focus on the thousands of people all the time. We're going to focus on one person at a time, minister to one person at a time, extend freedom and hope to one person at a time. And here's what I love about this. Anybody can be part of this. You can be part of this. You can be that person that can extend hope to a hurting world. Not just a hurting world, to a hurting city here in Anderson, South Carolina.